Well, this is Steve Ridgel, and I wanted to talk for just a moment about one of the problems I see sometimes in our churches. We church people sometimes are a little bit afraid to say we've got it together, that we are spiritual people, that we are following Jesus. I hear statements like this sometimes at church. Come be here with us because we're all sinners. And I know what they mean by that. That's true. And if you are a great sinner, you're welcome because lots of us have been and sometimes are great sinners. But here's the other thing that we don't always say behind that. But God has forgiven us and healed us. Sometimes it's almost like we want to give the impression, hey, if you're a big sinner, come on and join us because this is all one big sin fest here. And that's not true about our churches. We're a lot of people that have been deeply wounded and hurt God and done sin, done horrible things, but God has forgiven them. And here's the thing, we're getting better. We're doing better. We're inviting you into our fellowship, and when you are wounded from your sin, we get it because we have been there. But we're not inviting you in to stay where you are because we have not stayed where we were. We've been healed and we're living out our forgiveness. Oh, we're still not perfect. And sometimes some of us wander away and have to come back. But here's the thing. Generally, we're getting it together. We're following God. He is changing us. So sinners are always welcome among us because in some ways we are a hospital. But those of us going there, we're not the wounded anymore. We're the healed. We're the people that carry our wounds as scars, not as open bleeding sores. So I want us to be a little bit more like, Nathaniel, one of those guys we never talk about. We talk about Peter, Andrew, James, and John, but Nathaniel's one in a story at the end of John 1. Jesus sees Nathaniel and he says, there's a true Israelite in whom there is nothing false. And you know how most of your church leaders would have done that if they had heard Jesus say that? Oh, no, I'm not perfect. No, I'm just like everybody else. No. But here's what I love about Nathaniel. He said, how did you know me? No false modesty, no self-deprecating statements. He said, yes, that's who I am. It's okay for your spiritual leaders. In fact, I think it's helpful if your spiritual leaders say, you know what? We do follow Jesus, and our heart is true. Not perfect, but we are mature, faithful Christians. Because after all, if I'm going to follow somebody in a battle against Satan, I want to know that they're locked onto Jesus. I want to know that I can trust them. I want to know if they give me advice that comes out of Scripture and it comes out of real life. And I want to know when I'm in the midst of my struggles, I want to look for a church leader who says, I get it, I've been through it, and I am healed. The strength in some of our marriage counselings look at couples and say, look at us, we made it. The strength in some of our helping people with addictions is to say, look at me, I made it. It's okay when you get it together for Jesus to acknowledge that. It's okay to, as Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ. So I tell the people that look to me for spiritual advice, I'm not perfect, but I guarantee one thing, I am locked onto Jesus. And if you follow me, you'll find Jesus and you will get to heaven because that's where I'm going, and nothing, especially not Satan, is ever going to take me away from that. So this is Steve Ridgel telling you it's okay to acknowledge what God has done for you and that you're all in and that you're doing pretty well with it.